Here to represent Morehouse College, Diane Archibald, Kevin Drew. And here to represent Spelman College, Kyle Brown, and Bethune Scott. And we are the Spellhouse Tigers.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas. But I don't go to no dentist, cause I'm eating apples and bananas. Eat them so much you can't fathom, and bucket them just how I like them. No, I don't want me no candy. I'm eating fruit on the daily. I'm eating veggie galore, though I know most children hate them. No, I don't want me no bacon. I'm trying to tell you I'm vegetarian, cause meat really starting to bury him. But that's on the hush of Liberians. Don't even eat fish, pescatarian. I'm just eating apples and bananas, and I'm on another again. And I'm about to blow like a cannon. I like to eat apples and bananas.
Hello and welcome. We are the Nourishment Ninjas. It's time for you to meet the team. First up, our first ninja, we have Joycelyn. Next up, we have Lanesha, Jasmine, Kevin, Hector, Iad, and the Dr. Caldwell. Our mission was to reduce food insecurity in the United States. Join us. Become the next Nourishment Ninja.
The problem. 1,400 frames can equate to 12 hours of render time. The solution. Raging flashy tigers and cloudy cluster. Let's meet the team. Christopher, Jackson State University. Malia, Jackson State University. John, Lehman College. David, Lehman College. Sophia, Mississippi Valley State University. Iomide, Mississippi Valley State University. And two very proud mentors, Jacqueline Jackson and Boyd Wilson. Raging flashy tigers in cloudy cluster, making rendering faster.
All right. I told y'all they were amazing.
Yay!
Amazing. Now, I do want to take a moment and say hello again to all of those that are joining us on YouTube. I was informed of the issue, and you all were fortunate to come in. There we go. Right as our teams were, as we were showing our team trailers. So you haven't missed anything. You saw the team trailers, and now we're going to go into our team presentations, but I'm going to check on something first. From what I understand, there is a special gift that we're giving to the judges. And so I want to ask Dr. Hayden, now, is that gift ready to go?
We're ready to go.
You're ready to go?
We're ready
Well,
to go.
in that case, John, I am going to go ahead and give you, oh, good. And I'll hand the floor over to you.
We would like to introduce the fantastic judges that we have for tonight's HackHPC at ADMI. Our first judge works at Omnibond. He helps with hackathon website maintenance. He got his first computer in 1993 when his parents bought home a gateway and a black and white spotted box. When not helping with hackathons, he enjoys cartography, playing with dogs, and snowshoeing. and he recently expanded the household with new fur babies. Please welcome Josh Kissel. This judge gave the sponsors welcome from Voltron Data at Thursday's kickoff. She is also an avid gamer, and she will announce the winner of the Open Source Award tonight. From Voltron Data, please welcome Fernanda Forder. Our next judge is a previous hackathon team mentor. He is a life learner, an avid reader, and is a blogger, poet, and writer. He's a senior research engineer at TAMU Cybersecurity Center. Please welcome Dr. Chris Landclose. This judge is a former hackathon supporter, and he is also a board member of ADMI. His goal is to provide opportunities to students from diverse backgrounds to learn computer science with different pedagogical methods. His research interests include computer science education and data science and information assurance. He's an instructional assistant professor at the University of Mississippi. Please welcome Dr. Tim Holston. Our judge is a Latina earth scientist PhD candidate pushing boundaries in the community. She has a demonstrated history of working in the education industry and is skilled in sustainability, project management, environmental science, geology, ArcGIS, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, and science communication. She's a strong operations professional with a professional science master's degree focused in environmental management and sustainable development. She's an instructional assistant professor at the University of Mississippi. Please welcome Catalina Salas. Our final judge was born in Panama. She is a research operations manager at Elizabeth City State University and has 13 teenagers. That is, she coaches 13 boys on a rec center basketball team, and that team had an undefeated season, 15-0. Please welcome Miss Cheryl Bradford.
Yay!
We would like to thank our outstanding judges, Catalina Salas, Josh Kissel, Tim Holston, Chris Landclose, Fernanda Forder, and Cheryl Bradford for their participation in HackHPC at ADMI.
Yay! Excellent, excellent, fantastic judges. Josh had wanted us to make sure that we let you know that when he's not helping with Hackathon, he also enjoys cartography and GIS and playing with dogs, and he's currently training for a half marathon. He began participating in the hackathons as a mentor, and he helps to maintain the website. So I want to make those corrections for him. Thank you, all of our fantastic judges. Let's give them a big hand. Please join me. And yay.
So I want to throw one more thing out there. So John Hawley also has become, now John isn't a judge. John is actually a part of our organizers. And John, when we first met, we knew we were cool because we think very much alike. And so John putting together this video for the judges, as well as his work during this event as the commissioner of the draft. John, you have been amazing. You've also served as a mentor and co-mentor for previous teams or prior teams. I just want to take a minute and give you a moment to be able to say hello to everyone, John.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much, Jamie. I really appreciate it. Actually, I love these hackathons, seeing people grow. I mean, I was watching Tony Guy and I saw him in a previous hackathon, and to watch him now, it really touches my heart. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Thank you so much. And I look forward to continuing to work with you. But having said that, it is time for us to begin the journey of seeing what our teams have done. Now, I want to share a screen real quick because, you know, that's what I do. On our main site, I'm going to go ahead and pull that up very quickly. Assuming, oh no, I know what I did, or not. I'll actually put it up a little bit later. But our teams have worked so very hard during this time. And so I want to tell them the order that they're going to be presenting. So the order I have listed here for the teams are the Spellhouse Tigers, the Nourishment Ninjas, the Raging Flashy Tigers, the Atkusi. Now I can't say it. So the problem is that name for people that are joining us, it's a Naruto name, and I'm used to yelling it. And so I'm trying to say it calmly, and it doesn't come out correctly. But the Atkusi and the Voracious Vikings. That's going to be our order for tonight. So up first, I give you the Voracious Vikings. Now these teams have 10 minutes to go through and present their projects. Now, what I need to let the judges know, I'm going to head in there right now and I'm going to double check to ensure that the Voracious Vikings have completed all of their tasks. So if you'll bear with me for one moment. So each team has a set of deliverables that they must complete. And as for the Voracious Vikings, not the Voracious Vikings, sorry, the Spellhouse Tigers. There it is. Let's have to double check. So judges, they have turned in their GitHub repository link. They have modified that link to ensure that it is customized to their project. They have included their, let me make sure here, I'm looking for it, their presentation. And their presentation, it's opening as we speak, does indeed have the information required. So with that information, I can gladly say that the Spellhouse Tigers has completed their challenge. So there will be no deductions for that. Having said that, I will now hand the floor over to the Spellhouse Tigers. There we go, the Spellhouse Tigers. Spellhouse Tigers, as soon as your first slide shows up, time starts.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kyle Brown, senior computer science major at Morehouse College, and I'm here as part of the Spellhouse Tigers, showing off our project for preserving the history of cities. So just here introducing the rest of our teams. You saw in the video, Zion Archibald, Kevin Drew, and I are from Morehouse. Abiodun is from Spelman, and our professor, Dr. Watkins, is from Morehouse. And our wonderful mentor, Jocelyn Salgado.
So our end goal for this project was to provide the user with a platform that preserves images of San Francisco, California, using Instagram hashtags to collect these images. And the task that we took on were creating a map of San Francisco that allows the user to interact with it as well. We also had to create an Instagram bot to fetch these images, and we did so using Jupyter Notebooks inside of Cloudy Cluster. And then we also have our websites, a map hosted on a web page, so we can store the maps and images in the same place.
So some of the technologies that we used were React. That was the front end portion. We used Python and Pandas. We also utilized Cloudy Cluster, as well as Google Cloud and Jupyter Notebooks, some HTML and CSS for styling, Figma for the mockup, and then Python Flask, which we'll speak on the use case later.
What we accomplished with this project was creating a bot that is capable of downloading photos from Instagram based on their hashtags. We also have our map markers on our website, which link to the correct images, like for the district. And we also created the map of San Francisco using GeoJSON data as well as Leaflet.
And some future steps that we would like to have would to be automate the Instagram bot to get downloads, to get the download process faster. Also get the user option to view older versions of the map to view the top post. So right now we have the old, you'll see within the demo, like how we go about showing information. We'd like them to be able to do that from today's date and in the future. And also the reason I talked about Python Flask is because one of the future things we wanted to implement was a server to have all the data rather than grab it locally. But yeah, that's all the accomplishments and future steps that we have.
And next up, I'm going to pass it over to Zion for his demo of our map. So I'll stop my share.
Okay, I'm about to share my screen. All right, and so here's the map that we have that was created with using React. We were using React Leaflet, which was able to get this data. Here you can see there's the GeoJSON data, which outlines the district. If you click on a marker, it tells you what district it is, and it has an image of an old building and then a newer building to try and preserve the culture. So basically it's just showing like the changes that have gone on within this certain culture from back in the past until present day, really trying to highlight gentrification and changes that is really shown and prevalent to this day. And then, yeah, there's other capabilities like you can zoom in, zoom out, and scrollable. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for the demo portion.
And lastly, oh yeah, could you have the share back down? Thank you. All right, and then lastly, we would like to thank our mentors as well as the supporting organizations of this event, as well as ADMI22 for giving us the opportunity to learn more about using cloud components as computer scientists, and then also just to engage in the hackathon again, because it's a lot of fun. And now we have time for questions.
Excellent timing. Excellent timing. So I have a question for you, because that's how it goes. So you talked about the Leaflet app that you use for your map. Could you talk a little bit more about what you use to implement that?
Yeah, so I was using React.js, which is just a library for JavaScript. And the way I implemented it was there was a package within React called React Leaflet, which I imported, and then I used some of the components that they had there. And to get the data, so they had GeoJSON data that could be exported and used, and I created that as an object and just mapped through the object and got the various data points for the location. So they had coordinates for the location to map the district. That's why it was important to get GeoJSON versus JSON, because using GeoJSON, it's able to like have that rendered better on the screen versus just using JSON. So I was able to get all that data rendered correctly using React Leaflet.
Excellent. Wonderful. All right. Are there any other questions from the audience? Judges?
In terms of completion, how close is this to what you originally started out to do, your final project?
I would say, so the main task was to preserve the culture, to show like the preservation of culture. So I would say based off that, it was pretty complete because we were able to get images from an Instagram bot using various hashtags, and then have an old and new photo to be showed for each district. So It was, I think it was pretty well. We did pretty well, and I think we got, I'd say, basically finished for the most part.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, do we have any further questions for the team?
Hey, one more question, and I'm just going to echo Christopher's question as well. Where is the historical data and the images, the past images, where are those coming from? Is that from Instagram? Are you pulling that off of, through their API? Where is that?
So the newer images are pulled from Instagram. They're using a bot that's utilizing the API. But for the older images was strictly something that we went through and found ourselves, because there's the problem with the images of pulling from Instagram is within that metadata, you can't tell when it was actually taken. You can see like the upload date and things along that nature, but getting the original date is hard. So we had to basically confirm that ourselves, that it was an older image, and then the newer images that are uploaded on Instagram we know they're newer because one, of the upload date, and two, because that you can see the comparison of the images from the older image to what you currently see. So yeah, to get the older images, we had to confirm that ourselves, but the newer images is utilizing the Instagram API.
Great, thank you.
No problem.
Excellent. All right, at this time, we want to give you all one more hand. That team was the Spellhouse Tigers.
Yay.
Wonderful job, wonderful job. Up next, the Nourishment Ninjas. Nourishment Ninjas, as soon as we see your first slide, your time will begin. Now while you're doing that, I'm actually going to add their repo so that everyone can join in with me in checking it. So I'm actually going to do this the way I wanted to before. I'm going to go ahead and share my browser window here. And so I'm on the main HackHPC at ADMI page. And on this page, I'm going to scroll down to the teams and the Nourishment Ninjas. We have their GitHub link right here. We're going to go ahead and click on that. And the Nourishment Ninjas judges. The Nourishment Ninjas have successfully customized their readme.md. They have included, let's make sure here, Final Hack PowerPoint. They're their final presentation within it. And when we click it, of course, because it's in PPX, we can't take a look, but we will double check that. And team, please. Oh, 1 hour ago, I have a feeling, yes, they do have their final presentation along with their team members. So having said that, judges, this team has successfully completed the hack. So Nourishment Ninjas, the floor is yours.
Okay. Jamie, first I want to say I did not make it to the end without getting sick. Allergies have won.
No.
So if you hear me sniffing, I'm sorry. But hey guys, our group is called the Nourishment Ninjas. Our topic was on food insecurity and its impact in North Carolina. And our number one thing for this was that North Carolina is ranked 10th in the nation for food insecurity. We chose North Carolina because our school or our team members are all go to Winston-Salem State. So we're North Carolina bound. Next slide, Lanasia. Okay, so the goal of this was to display our results of our investigations of the impact of food insecurity in North Carolina. Our team members are me, Jasmine Chavier, Kevin, Lanasia, Iad, and Joycelyn. And then our mentors were Dr. Caldwell and Hector. And we are all from Winston-Salem State University. Next slide. So to start off our findings, we used 3 data sets. One gave us information for like overall food insecurity and overall child insecurity with projections. So that data set gave us information for 2019 and then gave us 2021 projections. Another gave us food source data, and that helped us find the locations of each available food bank, pantry, or anywhere in the state that would provide free access to food. And then lastly, the data set that we use, it focused on the percentages of food insecurity and the number of food insecure people for each county. And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of other columns. We did use some, but a lot of it we didn't need, so that goes into the next slide. So, of course, for our HPC technology, we use Cloudy Cluster. It helped us with collaborations because we had certain people working on certain things. So I know 2 of us at one point in time were working on this part of the data, trying to clean it. And so it helped us collaborate, and it allowed us to have everything that we worked on in one place. So it didn't get lost because we were having that problem in the beginning. The first goal for Jupyter in Cloudy Cluster was to read our data. And then after reading the data, we used Jupyter to clean and filter out the columns that were no longer needed. Like for one data set, we probably had 2,000 lines of data. We only needed about 100 lines out of that and probably 4 or 5 columns. So we cleaned that through Jupyter, and that helped us analyze data in a more efficient way. And then next we'll have our demo, which shows our final MVP and how we use Jupyter some more.
Okay, can everyone hear me? So this is our final demo. This is just the raw data that we use to create a GUI for users to access information on food insecurity in North Carolina. We use Python as our main language for the data sets. We imported the package to Kinter in order to help us display our data in a user-friendly way. So this is just a brief overview of the raw data. And I will go ahead and run it. So once you click run, this box pops out, and it basically says we're the Nourishment Ninjas and welcome to your food insecurity resource. So what is food insecurity? This box will help users that don't know what food insecurity is to help them get a better understanding and a general definition of what food insecurity is. Food insecurity is considered a lack of consistent access to enough food in order to lead a healthy and active lifestyle. Some people often get it confused with hunger, and they're 2 different things. Hunger is your personal and physical discomfort when you're craving food. Food insecurity is based more off your financial situation and your access to get food. So that's what that button does. And this one displays the first few counties within North Carolina and the ones that have the most, that are more prone to food insecurity based off county and statistics from 2019 that we gathered from the data sets Jasmine talked about before. And that's our demo. So in the future and with more time, we were hoping to add on to our data, and by implementing a tool that would, another button per se, to help users access or gain information to access food locations that would provide food or ways to get tools to help better their situations. And throughout this experience, it wasn't without its challenges, but as a team, we were able to overcome them all, because And we also learned a lot along the way. Like most teams here, we probably all have a very different skill set. And most of us were not used to working with Python, and we weren't used to working in Jupyter notebooks or Takinter. I'm not even sure I'm saying that right. So we were all pretty new to that one, but thanks to everyone here, we were able to figure it out and create something that we're all very proud of. So we just wanted to say thank you and go Ninjas.
Wonderful job. Wonderful job. So questions. Now you all actually took my thunder, so you're just going to take my thunder, but that's fine, because I was going to say that I know for a fact that the vast majority of the technologies that your team used, none of your team had ever seen, heard of, or touched before. Now, to me, I think that is an amazing accomplishment. They use Cloudy Cluster, they use Jupyter Notebooks, they use Python, they did data carpentry, and then they went in and built an interface. So fantastic job, absolutely fantastic job. Are there any other questions for this team?
I saw a question in the chat.
Oh, what was the most surprising? And this is coming from Maytal Don. Maytal, thank you for joining us. So what was the, and then it scrolled. Okay, you got a bunch of awesome jobs. Here we go. What was the most surprising thing you learned about food security?
Well, I can speak on that. When we were Googling, Dr. Caldwell wanted to focus on food banks. But as we got to searching, we realized there's not a lot of food banks. And so it became a question of, well, what's the difference between a food bank and a food pantry? And it seems like such a simple concept, but it's something that I didn't know, and it helped our data because we were at the beginning focusing on food banks. But we realized, I think in the state, there's less than 10. But food pantries come from food banks. So the food pantries go and get their resources from the food banks, take them back to their community. So that was, I think, the biggest thing that helped us release our data, because we had a whole data set that showed us where all of these other food sites come from other than food banks.
Excellent. Are there any other questions for the team?
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how you all are going to grow. Oh, and Jasmine, did I not say you were sequestered at home?
See, I don't know what happened. I went outside and I went to school. You know, I was walking the campus and there's trees outside, so it didn't work. I failed.
Oh God.
We're gonna put you on lockdown next time. We're gonna be quarantined during. No, again, it's another testament to your character. You're here, yeah. You got it done. We're so proud of you.
It would be interesting to map those counties where you had the most, food insecurity. Where are they located, and what regions of the state you find them? If you had more time to work on it.
Definitely.
Dr. Hayden, I think they can answer that.
I think the county was Alamance County that had the greatest food insecurity.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
And what area of the state is that? That was, a map of the state with those very insecure counties highlighted would just give it a lot more impact. You could see where they are, because most people don't know the counties by name. The eastern, or they're probably not around that. I would be surprised if they're around that Research Triangle corridor. Are they in the western part of the state? That sort of thing.
I know our data set or one of our data sets gave like county and city. I know one of the cities I focus on elements, I think it's Burlington. I'm not sure where Burlington is, but I
Yeah,
know that's a city.
yeah, a map would help us with that.
I'm sure it's something we can add in the future, given more time.
Get more time, right?
Mhm.
Good job.
I want to throw one thing out there that this is coming from our YouTube live stream. We had a message from Cassandra. Yay,
Oh, no.
Team Nourishment. Great job, Team Nourishment Ninjas. And hope I say this correctly. Koya,
Yeah, that's okay.
I learned something new. So excellent job, you all. All right, moving along. Up next, Team Raging Flashy Tigers. Now, Team Raging Flashing Tigers, we're going to go ahead and put your GitHub link here in the chat. Meanwhile, I am going to share my screen and we're going to do our double check with everyone because everyone is itching to know, have they gotten it done? So we're back on our HackHPC site. We're going to the Raging Flashy Tigers and we're going to click on their GitHub link. And in their GitHub repo, judges, yes, the team has customized their page. Now, looking for the presentation, if I scroll down, there's actually a link here to the presentation that is on the repository. And when I click on it, it does download. And when I open it, indeed, it is there with the team members. So judges, I can with all confidence say that the Raging Flashy Tigers have completed the hack. So Raging Flashing Tigers, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone, we are the Raging Flashy Tigers and meet our team members. We have the Tigers, Andrea and Anina, Christopher, John, Sophia, and Iomide. And we have our esteemed mentors, Dr. Jacqueline M. Jackson and Boyd Wilson. Now, what's the problem? So our problem was, okay, so the problem is it takes over 12 hours to render 1,440 frames. And I'm gonna break it down. If you're rendering a 1-minute video clip for film, there will be 60 seconds per minute, 24 frames per second, or 1,440 frames per minute. If each frame takes 30 seconds to render, then you'll be able to render 2 frames per minute or need 720 minutes, which is 12 hours to render a file. And we, the Raging Flashy Tigers, have come up with a solution. Now, instead of rendering animation and models in our local machine, we instead use the cloud cluster service to do it. You might be wondering how. So we divided the Blender file amongst multiple virtual machines, which will then each render part of the file. They will then gather the results at the end and turn it back fully rendered model. Over to you, Christopher.
All right, Christopher, if you're speaking, we can't hear you. And Ms. Sophia, you were going in and out a little bit. So you may want to get a little bit closer to the microphone when you all speak.
We still can't hear you.
Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. I was going to say that sounded real good. Christopher, are you all with us? Sophia? I see him change. Okay, Chris is putting on his headset. He is adjusting, adapting, and overcoming. There we go. I heard something. Chris, are you there?
He's there. He's just working on the headset issue.
All right, we're going to give it another minute here, and if there continues to be an issue, what we'll do is we'll switch out.
We still can hear you. Maybe.
I tell you what we'll do. We will give you all a moment, and we'll go on to the next team and give you all a moment to kind of let the technical gremlins settle down a bit. It happens. It happens. And we'll swing back around to you. Okay? And don't worry, it happens. All right, so what we're going to do, a Tetsky group just knew they had some time to rest. But you can't rest on your laurels around here, for it is time for us to check and make sure that your page is ready to go. So let me go ahead and pull up, not that screen, that screen. And then what we're going to do here, we are going to go back to our HackHPC main site. And we're going to scroll down and we're going to click on the GitHub repository of the Atatsuki. All right, Atatsuki. See, it works better when you yell. Now, when I look at it, your page judges, Team Atatsuki. Team Atatsuki, making sure they're on the right page. Team Atatsuki's GitHub repository does have a customized readme.md. I see a presentation link in PDF form, and that PDF does include the members. So with that, judges, I can say that the Atatsuki have successfully completed the HackHPC at ADMI22 hack. So at this point, Atatsuki, the floor is yours. Atatsuki. Okay, you all have to say it one time for me. Okay, if you're talking, we can't hear. Oh, okay, there we go.
Hello, everyone. We are the Katsuki, and this is our project, the Virtual Preservation Bot. Our mentors are Dr. Felicia Doswell, Dr. Thorna Humphreys, and Charlie Day. And hackers are, well, I'm Julie Salgado, and I'm a business management major. I helped create the GitHub repository, worked on research for the gentrified neighborhoods, and obtained hashtags, geotags, and pictures for the historical locations.
Go. My name is Samuel. My name is Samuel McDonald, computer science major, junior.
My name is Brianna Chapman. I'm a dual computer engineering technology and electronics engineering technology major, and I worked on the coding and coding research.
Hello, my name is Trey Taylor. I'm a computer science major, and I worked on the coding as well.
My name is Carolina Hardaway. I'm also a computer science major. I worked on the coding, and I know all of us came in here with little to no coding knowledge.
So for the goals, we wanted to create an Instagram bot that could post pictures of before and after pictures of gentrified neighborhoods or neighborhoods that were in the process of being gentrified. What we made successfully was a bot that could successfully open the browser
and log into Instagram and open DM. For the future, we're going to try and get the bot to respond to DMs and post before and after pictures, and set up the program to run automatically with Cloudy Cluster.
The pictures on the side are just of like our code. So I know the top one is to find the username and password buttons. The second one is to post images, I believe, and then wait, no, not post image. That's open messages. And then the third one is to post images. Oh no.
So our process started with a lot of research on Python, since none of us had any experience with Python. Me personally, I know no coding aside from a little bit of C++. So after research, we used Selenium to open Chrome browser, and then we searched for Instagram bot libraries, but we found out that almost all of them were outdated due to Instagram's updated UI. So we switched to Facebook, Instagram, Graph API, and got necessary tokens. And then we coded the automatic Instagram posts using Python and coded the bot to read and respond to DMs. And now we're going to do our demo. Okay, so the sound is supposed to go on, but this is what I'm showing you is the base bot, and the base bot is essentially to let us open Chrome browser, and it's supposed to put in our username or password and log us in and bypass any pop-ups that we have. For this run through, it didn't do what I wanted it to do, so I just closed the browser and reran it again so it could run properly, because that's an issue that I ran into when I was coding. I should do it now. And it happens pretty quickly. And then after it bypasses the pop-ups, it should click on the DM icon, and then from the DM icon, it's going to open a message. And then next, I believe I showed you guys the what I used to get the access codes. I used the Instagram Graph API to get the short-lived access code, but I needed to transfer it over to a long-lived access code. So I used Postman to do all of that. I also used Postman to manually post. I did do coding for that on Python, but when I coded it, it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do, though it came out with like 0 errors. So here, I believe I just regenerate an ID, a caption, a creation ID, so I can show you guys that I posted. So I'm gonna copy this creation ID, put it into the media publish part, and then when I push send, it's gonna come out with the ID. And then I'm gonna show you the post on the Instagram account. On the right, there are 2 previous tests that I did. This one right here, this is the test that I just did, that is posted 25 seconds ago. And that is the demo.
The resources that we use are Cloud Cluster, PyCharm, Python 3, Replit, Instagram, Graph, API, Postman, YouTube. We would like to give a special thanks to our mentors, Charlie Day, Dr. Felicia Doswell, Dr. Thornus Humphreys, host Jamie Powell, Dr. Linda Hayden, Boyd Wilson, Amy Cannon, and Alex North.
All right, excellent. So we have completed the Akatsuki team. Yeah, I said a cat that time instead of a tat. Yes, I caught that. And I also want to put out there that I am so glad like after the demo that you all changed those API keys that you showed. So just want to let people in the audience know they are no longer viable. Hint, hint, poke, poke. Now, having said that, y'all have done an amazing job. The one thing I do want to ask, just to be certain, just for our judges, so the environment in which you were running your code, that Jupyter Notebook, where were you running that code? Was that local or was that in Cloud Cluster, Jupyter Notebook, Colab? Where was that?
Okay, so I use PyCharm. I was trying to get it to Cloudy Clusters, but I couldn't get it to run, and I was like time crunching too. So I just kept it in PyCharm and recorded me going through the demo.
Okay, so is that a part of your future work to move it over?
Yeah, so it actually is in Cloudy Clusters. It's just not working in Cloudy Clusters.
Okay, not a problem. We'll see if we can get that settled for you so we can get you going. Are there any other questions of the team?
So how close did you come to completing your original challenge?
So there's two portions that are coded. It's just not all together. So I think if maybe we were given like maybe another week, it would have been completed.
Another week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I have zero coding skills, so I was just learning Python as I was like Googling things. And I was just picking up pretty quickly as fast as I could.
Wait, let me. I thought my camera was open. Let me say that one more time. I'm gonna say this back to you. Did you just say you learned Python since like Thursday?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody on our team really knew Python, so we all learned it.
Whoa. Okay. I want to give you an extra hand for that. You learned a programming language from scratch. You said you had a little bit of C and then came on. So, okay. Excellent.
Yeah. Great.
Excellent. Any other questions?
I have two questions. So no, I forgot one of them. The first one is could you explain your methodology of being able to distinguish between the photos? So how were you going to determine if this is an older picture versus this is a newer picture?
So the plan was to have files of the images and give them specific names. So when the bot is added with the neighborhood, it just automatically pulls from the files, preferably Cloudy Clusters, and then it'll just post it. It'll post the then and the now.
And so how would you have, if you were able to complete, and you were presenting it to customers, what benefit would they get from using it? Well, using that kind of essentially like a timeline of the neighborhood, of the development of the neighborhood.
That's a good question. I think it would just, I didn't really think about a business benefit for it, but I think it would just be like a little archive that gets updated every so often of photos, maybe even like captions. Yeah, to me, it was just a little neat little archive for anybody who wants to just see any historical sites. We also wanted to use the geocodes too, the geotags too, but I wasn't able to figure out how to do that.
If I can add on to that. I see it as if somebody wanted to, they could look back to see cultural significance of the place that has been gentrified, and they could take things that used to be there and retie them back into the community.
I just gotta, I can't help it. I gotta say this one more time. So you learn Python and API interfaces.
Yeah, very thankful for YouTube.
Okay.
Our mentor, Charlie, also helped really a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, honestly.
Amazing.
Awesome job.
Yes.
Extremely impressed.
Oh, and I want to repeat what Maytal actually also said in chat, because she's 100% correct. You could have your 10,000 hours of being a coder, you would still be on Google looking for solutions. When Charlie and I teach courses, a lot of times what we tell our students, we're not here to make you an expert programmer. We're here to make you an intelligent Googler. And it seems like your team has definitely taken that lesson to heart. So there aren't exactly. If I didn't have Google and Stack Overflow and YouTube, yeah, I would have been in trouble. So amazing. All right. Having said that, let's give Akatsuki a hand.
Yeah.
Excellent job, you all. Now let's take a step back here. Let's check in on the raging flashy tigers.
Okay.
Raging flashy
Can anyone
tigers.
hear me? Can
Yes,
anyone hear me?
we can hear you amazing too.
Thank
all
you.
right. We are going to go ahead and allow the raging flashy tigers, who we've already who have successfully completed the hackathon, to present their final work. So, RFT, the floor is yours.
Sophia is having network issues, so she can't join now. She can't start the presentation.
Why don't we go to where we left off last time with Chris?
Okay.
Okay, so hello everybody. We are the Raging Flashy Tigers. And the tools that we are using is Blender, which is a free and open source 3D computer graphics software whose tool set is used for crafting animation, visual effects, and 3D applications. Think of gaming or virtual reality. We also use Paramico, which is a Python library that makes a connection with a remote device through SSH, and it also supports the SFTP client and server model. Also being used is the SCP, which is widely known as Secure Copy Cloud Cluster, which allows anyone to quickly set up and configure the HPC environment on the GCP are the Google Cloud Platform for HPC parallel workloads. Also CCQ, which is a wrapper for common schedulers, which gives schedules automatic scaling capabilities within AWS and other cloud platforms. Open on demand was used for utilizing remote computing resources, as well as Python and Visual Studio were used. Next slide.
Okay, so here's our workflow diagram. And these are just like first beginning steps, I would say, that we took. And the image you see here with the cube, that's not our model, but example picture, I guess. First step is create Blender model using Blender 3.1. Second was create the UI for the Python add-on. Third, with Paramiko, we communicate to the Cloudy cluster and send the blend file, along with run the commands to start the job script once connected to the SSH. Lastly is Cloudy cluster, which since it's it uses a lot of Google Cloud, especially with the virtual machines and all those things. So I put the image of a Google Cloud there. And the last step was to retrieve the rendered images by running the FFmpeg. And now I'll share my screen and give you guys a demo. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
So this is our model. It's a wolf. And we had it like in a loop, so like it runs for a couple of seconds and then it just keeps going. This section right here, this is the interface for the add-on. So once you start the add-on, this will pop out right here, and you would put your username, PIN or password, and the instance. So instances is kind of like the number of VMs that you're going to use to render the image. And from there, this will get sent to, the code gets sent to Cloudy Cluster, and then it'll run the job script. And if I go to, where is it? Right here. This is where all the rendered images go. And as you can see, it's a lot of them. But it actually speeds up the rendering process from what would take 12 hours. I'll give an estimate like a couple of hours. And I'll stop sharing my screen now.
So here are the things my teammates and I learned in the process of doing our project. We learned how to use Blender to create a model and an animation. We also learned how to make a Python plugin to send Blender model to Cloudy Cluster. And lastly, we learned how to create a job script for Cloudy Cluster. We'd like to acknowledge the sponsors of this hackathon. We'd also like to thank our organizers and our mentors, Dr. Jacqueline and Boyd Wilson. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
First of all, fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you a secret. And Boyd has probably told you all, but I'm going to say it anyway. A team tried to take on this task before, and I think they ended up doing something different because of the difficulty level in it. And it looks like you all got it done. So, but I want to make sure before I say it, I know that during your goals, when we were speaking about your goals and tasks and things, you were talking about a plugin that you wanted to be able to add into your local Blender that then will run the rendered jobs on Google Cloud Platform inside of a Omnibond Cloudy Cluster instance. So when you said the add-on asks for your username and password, is that the plugin that you created?
Yeah. The username, password, and the instance.
Okay, so let me say this one more time. I can install Blender on my machine here, install your plugin, fire up an instance of Cloudy Cluster from the marketplace on the Google Cloud Platform, and it will take care of my rendering in the cloud as opposed to on my local machine.
No, we don't have it like on the marketplace.
Well, I mean,
but the code itself works. So.
No. I'm Cloudy Cluster is the thing that's in the marketplace. I want you to know just how amazing that is.
Yeah.
There are so many developers that they may not necessarily have the resources to buy the big heaping honking rendering machine, that they can then use these Google Cloud resources that are a lot more reasonable for the reasons that they need them, and then can spend them down and save the money. That is fantastic.
Yes.
And I wonder, Boyd, if you are going to be doing anything with that. Sir, look at his face.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any other questions for the team?
So I was just wondering, did you guys try running the render on your local machine and then seeing how much faster you can do it on the cloud and getting, kind of an estimate on what that time frame or reduction in render time actually was?
And we have yet to actually do like a time comparison.
Okay, thanks. Great job.
Hey, I have a question. What was the work division in the team? Who did what?
So,
okay.
Oh, you can go, Chris.
Yes. So myself and John, with John being the team lead, worked on the scripting. John also and David worked on the plugin. We had a team member that dropped out, but she assisted with Blender along with Sophia and Amadi.
And Sophia and Amadi, they joined late. So
yes, so we supported them with the Blender model and they got it done. We were very impressed with what they came up with that wolf model.
Mm-hmm.
And we did have a test model that we were using, which was a bouncing ball. But the real model we stuck with was the wolf.
I'm looking forward to hearing about the time trials, because then if you can build a model off of that, the plugin can then include that as an estimate of the time savings based upon the specs of your machine. Am I taking your thunder there, Boyd? I didn't mean to take your thunder. Not. No.
One thing I want to add is there are some things that we can add to it. So the Fmpeg part that we mentioned, we didn't get to it, but we were going to add a button there so that when you click on it, it'll merge those render images together and give you that file. And if we had more time, I would say tomorrow we'll have it done.
Fantastic. Are there any other questions? Well, y'all were worth the wait. The raging, flashy tigers, y'all did an absolutely fantastic job.
Yes, agreed.
And now, last, but certainly not least, the Voracious Vikings. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and paste their GitHub repo inside a chat. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to do for the very last time. We're going to check to ensure that this team has indeed successfully completed the hack. So I'm going back to our main event site, heading over to the Voracious Vikings, clicking on GitHub. And so judges, they have completed a custom readme.md file. Let's take a gander in here for the final presentation PDF. And they have indeed included their members. So with that, I can say to the judges, the Voracious Vikings have indeed successfully completed the HackHPC at ADMI22 Hackathon. And with that, Voracious Vikings, the floor is yours.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
I hope you guys are doing well. I'm Tony Guy. I'm a hacker and a participant in the ADMI22 Hackathon, along with Cameron Pendergrass, Marquise Brown Elahi, and Daniel Lamb. And our mentors were Cole McKnight and Robert Barrett. And we are the Voracious Vikings. Woo!
Yeah.
Next slide. So NHANES is a health data, they're a health database recorded by the Center for Disease Control. And our main objective was to use NHANES data for blood pressure, cholesterol, and glucose to generate graphs to depict and analyze the change in health within different race groups from 1999 to 2018. Next slide. Okay, the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, which is NHANES, is a, hold on, give me a second, is a research program under the National Center for Health Statistics, which is the NCHS, that tracks health and nutritional status of adults and children within the United States. They do interviews, physical examinations, and laboratory tests conducted within that survey, and they place all of that data into the NHANES database, which we use for this project. Next slide. And Cameron's gonna take over for this one.
All right, so I'm going to be talking about some of the tools that we use to accomplish our goals. So starting out, some of us were learning and using Cloudy Cluster to analyze the NHANES data set by creating multiple job scripts to download data and generate the figures. In doing that, we also used Open On Demand to access and develop on our cluster. Some of us were also learning and using Google Colab and Jupyter Notebook as a development environment. We used Python for the data ingestion, manipulation, and visualization. We use Pandas data frame to organize the data, and we also use Seaborn to create our graphs and then create the figures as well. Some of us were learning and using Google App Engine to make and host our Flask app, and also some of us were learning exactly how Flask app worked, as well as some were using HTML and CSS to build our front end of our Flask app. And we were also using GitHub to keep all of our files organized and in a central location. With that being said, we have our workflow diagram here. So starting out, the CDC has a website that hosts all the NHANES data, which is stored in a database. And we actually are in, all of this is through the Google Cloud. We actually have a user who submits a Cloud Cluster job which pulls the data from exactly from NHANES into the Google Cloud, which goes into Cloudy Cluster. And we then have another job which retrieves all of that downloaded data and creates our visual figures out of them and pushes that to our Google Cloud bucket storage, which is then used to display our figures on the Flask app. Well, the Flask app uses that to pull our images and display on the Flask app, which we were all able to see. And I'm gonna hand it over to Marquise so he can give a Cloudy Cluster demo.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, I'm Marquise. Overview. Okay, so the control is the control administration. The login is a user being able to log in to submit jobs, and the schedule is to create the schedule, compute schedule, my bad. And then the orange FS is the parallel storage. Can you go to? So this is on demand, which is a interface to make using Cloudy Cluster easier. Can you go to Cloudy Cluster and then okay, so can you type in /cc template .sh mount orange fs dot what's your car dot text. So what this is doing, it is, well, the path, first of all, the path is where the files are being downloaded, and then that's the text files that
86 and 9
that contain the links are going to the path. So what this is doing, it is reading the files from the download SS, printing the name of the files, creating a template for a job, then it is submitting this job to Cloudy Cluster. And can you go to where the download files will be at? Go to the text file car. So if you see, that's the link to the stuff. And then it should be, well, orange yeah, so that's the data we just downloaded to Cloudy Cluster. And Cam, can you go back to the show access? Can you type in Python 3 create figures.py, and what that is doing is creating Python figures. Cam, you could take over now.
So I'm going to talk about the script here a little bit. So this is the Google Colab and Jupyter Notebook that we actually use to create the Python script. So as you can see, we use different packages such as wget, pandas, seaborn, matplotlib, numpy, OS or operating system, and sys. And just a quick rundown, we basically we have the main function here, which is actually receiving the file path and the type that it is. So whether it's demographic, blood pressure, cholesterol, or glucose, and that is actually looping through that directory and choosing any file that ends with .xpt. And in return, it is merging all of the data frames into one. I'm sorry, not merging, concatenating all the data frames into one. And then it is then cleaning all of those data frames and only giving us what we would like. And in return, what we're doing down here is we're actually merging all of these data frames into one, which are then being sent into the create graph function and creating a graph. And as you can see, I ran this not too long before actually this presentation, and these are the figures that have been created. And I'm actually going to hand it over to Daniel and have him talk about the Google App Engine and Flask app.
Thank you, Cameron. Can you stop sharing? Thank you.
1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
Okay. Can you see my screen? So this is the Google App Engine, and we use the Google App Engine to deploy our Flask app, and then we use the Flask app to host our web application. And just a quick little rundown. This is summary and current load, client errors. We have no errors. So I will show the page that we deployed, and Cameron will talk about it.
So this is actually the page that is using the images that were created by the Python script. It is actually pulling that straight from the Google Cloud bucket into this page. And as you can see, the data is being displayed. Over the years, you could just see how much these different levels have fluctuated. If you take your focus on the line graph here, as you can see, the line graph, the non-Hispanic Black race actually started in the middle of the pack, but in the recent years, it has shot it up. And as the cholesterol, as you can see, the data has been up and down all across. And on the line graph, the data is actually, I would say, about even, but it's not even at the same time. It's fluctuating so much. And then on the glucose, as you can see, it started low, but in the recent years, a lot of it has actually rise. There has been some races that are on a little bit of a decline, but overall, we have gathered that all of this stuff is on a rise.
Now Cameron will come back to me. The quick problems and solutions. One of the problems, Flask app was not reading the HTML properly. We wanted to implement a button so the graphs would pop up when you click the button, but we couldn't get that working, not within the time frame. Cloud Cluster was not able to properly display our figures when running the Python script, but we found a solution for that. And some of the next steps we wanted to do was make the web page more interactive and utilize more data sets from NHANES. And a special thank you to all the supporting organizations and sponsors. Thank you to ADMI for hosting the amazing opportunity. Thank you to all the mentors for being available. And of course, thank you to Robert and Cole for, you guys are amazing. You guys helped us learn and you helped us have fun at the same time. So thank you guys. And that is it.
All right. Excellent job, you all. You all kind of did like 2 or 3 different projects in one. You created Flask app and deployed it to the cloud platform. You built an automation app for job submissions, and then rolling those submissions into, that was a lot. And that is amazing that you all were able to use your time so wisely and so effectively to be able to get all that done. But I have to ask a question. So I see 3 different components here. Out of the 3 different components, which one would you all say gave you all the most difficulty?
I'll actually talk on this. So I would say it's a tight race between Flask and Cloud Cluster due to the fact that Flask wasn't liking Ajax, which is a JavaScript library, I believe. It wasn't liking Ajax too well. But on the same time with Cloud Cluster, for some reason, when we were outputting our graphs, Cloud Cluster would not render our graphs properly, and we have eliminated a lot of options. We've checked the script 4 or 5 times, but when we run the script through the Colab Jupyter Notebook, we have no issues. Our graph output properly. We copied that same script into Cloud Cluster and we have issues. So we have actually came to the conclusion that we feel like there may be a version mishap, if it's Python or something installed on Cloud Cluster that was giving us a lot of issues. But that was a a sort of a setback. But other than that, I would say that was probably one of our biggest issues, working around clouded cluster and giving us some issues.
All right, I'm gonna give you something that you all may want to do in Colab so you can take care of that issue. If you open a code cell, sorry you all, I can't help it. If you open a code cell in that Colab, if you do an exclamation point pip freeze, FREEZE. Is it pip freeze or Python freeze there, Charlie? Do you remember off the top of your head? Can't remember if it's pip freeze or Python freeze to pull out all the requirements document.
Oh, yeah. You can actually run the little Python script says, I think if you just do a straight, is it pip3 without anything? But you can also do Python list modules and it'll show you all the modules that are required and what versions they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to set up Maytal, or do you remember off the top of your head?
It is pip freeze. I Googled it.
It's pip freeze. All right,
Yes.
You may want to do that so that you can see the differences between the modules in Colab, and then you can check versus the Jupyter Lab that's in Cloudy Cluster. Because again, reproducible science, you want to make sure that you're able to define those modules, and there are ways around that for the future. But amazing job, absolutely fantastic job. Now, while I open the door to other questions, I am posting the viewer's choice link in chat one more time, because as soon as I show my next slide, the viewer's choice will be closed. So are there any other questions?
I had a question. For the Google App Engine, that was used as y'all's hosting service, correct?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
How hard was that to implement? Like, what steps did you have to take to implement that?
It was a lot of stuff in the Cloud Shell, like running all the commands and making sure the Flask app and the App Engine connected. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but it was mainly a lot of stuff in the Cloud Shell.
Okay, I'm probably gonna reach out to you because I have questions about that.
All right, judges, are there any other questions?
Great.
All right, Dr. Hayden, any questions?
Question. So as Jamie said, you guys kind of made 3 different projects here, which is super great. How did the kind of the division of labor end up? You know, was it one doing all of the coding and one person, you know, doing all of the UI, or, you know, how did that kind of spin out?
Okay, so what we did starting out, we actually had another member. Unfortunately, due to technical problems and other issues, he had to drop out. But so me and Tony were the I guess you could say the ones behind, or were the ones coding. And then Daniel and Marquise focused on Clouded Cluster, and Daniel was focusing on the Google App Engine and other things. And then when it came down to, after we crossed all our T's and dotted all of our I's, as far as making sure all of our data, our websites published, and everything is done properly, we actually, I actually came in and worked on the HTML and CSS of the front page of the website.
Great, thank you.
Good job. And it looks like you completed your original task. Or what grade would you give yourself on that?
As far as completion?
Yes.
I would say I would give us right around a 90. There was a few things that we might have wanted to tweak or do some small changes to, but overall, we completed our main goal of using the NHANES data set to create figures.
Good.
Excellent. All right. So if there aren't any further questions, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share out a slide here. And on that slide, it actually has some information about the post-event survey. But what we're going to do here is we're going to have a 10-minute break. I'm going to open up the breakout rooms. Let me go ahead and go to that now.
I know you did.
There You are. I'm going to open up the breakout rooms. Teams, if you want to meet together one last time to settle any issues or anything, please do. Judges, of course, you will be headed to the judges room, and we will begin our award ceremony in 10 minutes.
Okay.
That is the sound of Doc saying we may.
Fingers crossed.
You want to say, we'll say 15 minutes just to be safe. How about
Good.
that?
Okay.
We'll check, we'll ensure everything's okay. So we will be back at 15 after the hour. So it's currently 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, and 5 p.m. Pacific. So we'll be back at 15 minutes after the hour. All right. Judges, to your duties. An excellent job, teams. And also, just to put out there while people are heading to their rooms, to their breakout rooms, and you all can see the breakout rooms, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. As of this moment, the viewer's choice is now closed. All right. We'll see you all in 15 minutes. I'll put on a little traveling music for you.
Jimmy, I see that picture at the bottom.
Oh, there's the player. One more time. A little bit better this time.
Feel so true.
Hey, Jamie,
Yes, sir.
do you have on your live transcript?
Yes, I do.
Are you watching the song lyrics?
No, I'm not. Should I be worried? Well,
It just keeps translating as Jim So True.
hey, you're done.
Like, as in workout gym. Not even the name. The workout gym. So true.
Hey, Jamie, I see your lips moving. Are you trying to say something? Because if you are, you're muted.
I sure was.
Read my lips.
I want to thank Mr. John Murph for allowing us to use his music for the. Go ahead and turn that off because it is time for the award ceremony. Now, before we get started in the award ceremony, well, of course, we're so proud of the students and the teams and all the hard work that they've done. But I want to read out just a couple of the comments that we've gotten from the Viewers' Choice Award. So let me take a look here. Let me take a gander. For the Raging Flash Tigers, we have "Let's go, Raging Tigers, woo." I have a feeling that is one of the team members. I might be wrong.
Pardon me, Jamie, but are you going to record this?
I'll start a recording as soon as we. Well, you know what? Why not? Let's go ahead and do that. Here we go. All right, welcome back, everyone, from our break. Our judges have tallied their scores. They have deliberated, debated, and come to a recognition of the winners or the advanced placers within our hackathon. Now, before we actually allow the judges to give out the awards, what I do want to say is within the Viewer's Choice, we had a couple comments that we were asked to give to you teams for the fantastic job that they've done. One of the comments was for, "I appreciate your efforts to have a position impact on the world. Gentrification is still a huge issue, especially in areas like New York, with high industry and high levels of culture." We have another person that just said they're everything. Can't even fight that. We have a "Go Tigers." They are hardworking. Their presentation is catchy and creative. They are hardworking. Good luck, you guys. You got this. Love the ninjas and the way their project is projected through it. They did a great job presenting. Excellent teamwork and impressive coding immersion since they had no experience with any of the tools they use. Great example of problem-solving skills to address challenges that allow them to pivot, scroll over with something when something did not work. Good luck. I hope that you had fun as well as learned a lot. And remember, this is the last one. Remember to stay positive no matter what the challenge is, and you will be successful. Good luck, teams. So you all had a lot of support coming to you. In fact, you had over 200. Oh, why did my screen just disappear? Come back to me, screen. There we go. We had over 219 responses to Viewer's Choice. Remember, we just opened it at 1 p.m. today. 219 responses. It shows how much you all are cared for and supported. All right. So having said that, I am going to turn the floor over to Dr. Linda Hayden to present the awards. So Dr. Hayden, the floor is yours.
What an honor it has been to work with you over this HackHPC at ADMI. It has just been delightful to see the growth, to see the energy that you brought to this challenge. We had some winners selected earlier. I believe the Nourishment Ninjas won the Team Intro Award. John Holly was the judge there. And we had Atsuki won the intro video, and who's it? Oh, Cheryl Bradford was the judge there. So we want to start by congratulating those teams for their efforts and their early wins. So let's give a hand to those teams. We are now going to announce the 3 remaining awards. They are the Open Source Award, the Judge's Choice Award, and the Viewer's Choice Award. And these awards carry a, what's the amount? I don't want to say it without being confirmed. The amount of the award that will go to each team member, and it's
$100 each.
That's what I thought. That's a nice round number. $100 per team member and mentor for these last few awards, 3 awards that we're going to give out tonight. You will also receive a plaque. Each of the teams will have a plaque sent to their department so that it can be displayed in the departments. If there was a blended team, then we'll send it to both departments, or each department represented on these 3 winning teams will receive a plaque. And it's gonna take us a minute to get those printed up and mailed to you, but they are coming. All right, now we're gonna start our announcements with our Viewer's Choice Award and telling you who was selected for the Viewer's Choice Award will be the team, the fabulous, fantastic judges, Josh Kissel and Cheryl Bradford. So I'll turn it over to those 2 to announce the Viewer's Choice Awards.
Thank you, Dr. Hayden. All right, so like Jamie said, there were over 200 responses for the Viewer's Choice Awards, and the winner with over 40% of the vote is Cheryl.
The Raging Flashy Tigers.
Yay! Good job, RFT. Good job. We appreciate all the effort, and that we, the viewers could see the work that went into your project, and they loved your video. So congratulations to the Raging Flashy Tigers, RFT, for winning our Viewer's Choice Award. Our second award is the Open Source Award. And the Open Source Award will be announced by our amazing judges, Fernanda and Tim.
Hey, y'all. I just want to say I am absolutely proud of the work you've accomplished. When I was a freshman in college, I failed my first programming course in C++, and I turned out all right. So what you're like eons ahead of me from where I was when I was a freshman, and I'm super, super proud of you. The Open Source Award will be going to the Spellhouse Tigors, and I'm going to tell you y'all why. The spirit of open source is about communicating and building upon other people's work. And here in their GitHub, they have an entire section called Learn More with links where people can go and follow up on the technologies they use. And that is the spirit of open source. Y'all use something that we love very much. One of our founders created Pandas, and 3 teams, in fact, in the hackathon used Pandas. But it was this little bit here where you're supporting open source and teaching others how to use it that won me over. So thank you very much, and continue to use open source and support open source.
Yeah, Tim, did you have any comments?
I would want to tell them congratulations, and I appreciate the use of overlays on images. That's not always hard to do, to take data that has longitude and latitude values, convert them to an XY coordinate plane, so you can lay an image on top and make it accessible by clicks. That was really a nice touch onto the image of the graph.
And everyone that did a live demo deserves an award in itself.
Mm-hmm.
That is hard to get it to work, and y'all came through. Very proud of you.
Very proud of you. Yay! So our Open Source Award went to the Spellhouse Tigers, the Spellhouse Tigers. Congratulations.
Jaguars.
Jaguars, the Spellhouse Jaguars. Thank you. All right. And our final award is the Judge's Choice Award. And that's going to be announced by Catalina and Chris.
All right. So this was hard. A lot of groups were able to provide were great in their own right? And so it was real close. Actually, first, second, and third are less than 7 points apart. So everybody did great. And it was Ferocious Vikings, the Ferocious Vikings.
Woohoo! So congratulations to everyone again. And the reason why we picked out some of the details from the Ferocious Vikings was, one, coming in, I went back and watched all the videos that you guys did when we did the check-ins, and you guys have grown so much as a team. Your confidence at the end during your presentation was excellent. You guys all spoke like Jamie told you when he said you were subject matter experts. You guys hit that right on the head. And then the amount of deliverables that you were able to display in a way that even people who aren't computer scientists were able to understand was excellent. So I'm not a computer scientist, but I do deal with data visualizations and science communication. And I thought that was great for me to follow that, your diagram to show us your steps. All that was super clear to follow. So for all the other teams, this is a great example to kind of piecing a presentation together that includes all of your technical programming and all that stuff that you did to get to the end result. So congratulations again, the Ferocious Vikings.
Yay, thank you. Thank you, judges. Thank you, audience. Thank you, everyone who voted for our Viewers' Choice Award. I just want to say that everybody walked away with an award. Each team walked away with an award tonight. And that's unusual, well-earned, well-deserved. And so everybody should be proud of the work that you have done through this hackathon, HackHPC at ADMI. You should be tremendously proud of yourself. Thank you for everything. And I'll turn this back over to Jamie now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hayden. Thank you, judges. Thank you for your hard work. I love the way you all presented it as well. But I have something I have to say, because we know that each one of these teams, there are a couple add-ons that our sponsors have thrown in, have sprinkled in, as it were, for some of the teams. So for the winner of the Open Source Award, Fernanda and Voltron Data will actually also be doing a blog entry for them. That's still, so you're still good to go for that, Fernanda? Excellent. So
good to go. So, and you know, the fact that they already started with that documentation told me that they could do it. So go ahead and let's start talking about it. Send me an email. Let's start talking about what you want to write up and the whole progress of your team through it. Essentially, you're going to rewrite a tutorial and say, here's what we accomplished. And you're really close to that already, given your GitHub.
Excellent. And also to the Judge's Choice Award, if I remember correctly, please tell me if I'm incorrect here on this, Amy. The Judge's Choice Award will be receiving Google branded and provided backpacks.
Yes.
Is that correct, Amy?
Yes. So if they can email me I'll put it in chat. I need their address that they want them sent to.
All right, and we have that in their shipping information form. So again, if you have not yet filled out that shipping information form for your team,
fill out that form.
Get it done. And also to the judges, my dear, wonderful judges, please make sure you fill out that form as well. So I'm going to drop it in chat for you as well, so that you all can get that taken care of. I'm going to grab that right now.
Yeah, then the other thing is we'll be sending out t-shirts. ADMI has agreed to purchase t-shirts with the logo for this competition on them. And we'll be using that those mailing addresses that you provided to send you a t-shirt. So we have on our shirts from the last hackathon, which was held during the, during the winter. And so we got heavy sweatshirts here, but we're going to get you a t-shirt so you can wear it during the summer time. All summer. You can wear your t-shirt and just, strut around and show your efforts and your accomplishments during this hackathon. You got bragging rights now.
As Charlie, because Charlie has one of the other hoodies, as Charlie's hoodie so aptly says, you have survived.
Yes.
I love that one. So, having said that, we have a couple closing remarks here before we go. The first thing I want to put out there is all of you all that this was your very first hackathon. If you wouldn't mind, could you please use reactions and raise your hand? If this was your very first hackathon, please go to reactions and raise your hand. See that? See it starting to light up.
5, 6, 7.
All right, we know who they are now, Doc. Let's go get them. No, we can. I want to take a moment and say to you all, I really hope you enjoyed this. We have other hackathons that we host over the year. We'll be sending information to you because you are now a part of the HackHPC family, and we want to say welcome. And having said that, I want to send you in chat. Actually, I'm gonna put Josh to work. Josh, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Josh, would you mind dropping in chat the link to the HackHPC LinkedIn alumni group?
Yeah, let me find it really quick.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So we want you to join that group. The cool thing about that group is not only are you able to stay in touch, not only are you able to see what's going on with HackHPC, but you are also able, whenever we're given these unique opportunities for internships, jobs, that our sponsors come to us and ask us for you, we post it to that LinkedIn. It's not a LinkedIn that's just there to be like, oh, is there? No, we put opportunities in that group to ensure that you, our veteran participants and mentors, are able to participate. They are curated, and when we put them in there, it's because we have a direct connection with someone. And that's the reason we put them in there. So please join that group. And so Josh said in chat, top equals LinkedIn group, bottom equals alumni. There we go. All right, John dropped it in. Thank you so much. So, and soon, of course, your project will be a part of the past hacks as well. So, last couple things, and then I, as always, I'm gonna, Amy, no. You know who I'm gonna say? Boyd, are you still with us? I know you have a lot going on. I know today has been a very interesting day, but if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to ask you to close us out after this last thing. Is that okay?
Okay. I have one question.
Not a problem. All right, go ahead, Dr. Hayden.
I wanted to say that we have 2 people who have requested to represent us at the Mini Gateways Conference. It starts very soon. And those 2 people are Jocelyn and Dr. Watkins. Yes. So thank you for stepping up to represent us. And I know you will do a wonderful job. I hope it's a great experience. I've sent you an email with the steps you need to go through to make that happen. Thank you.
Jaguar pride.
Yay. Well, you know what? Hey, voracious Vikings. You know what I'm going to say. Viking pride.
Pride.
Viking pride.
Pride.
Viking pride.
Viking pride.
Woo, good job, guys.
Yeah, give your school a shout out.
Yeah.
Amy, before everything goes, please take a moment and fill out the post-event survey. We really want to make this as special for you guys as we can, and we take feedback very seriously.
Yes, we do. So our next, we do have two minor I say minor, they're not necessarily minor. But we have two hackathons coming up. One in the summer that we're still planning is called Hack Attack, where we'll be bringing in REU students, so faculty members. We may be contacting you if you have an REU or summer program that your students need to get trained in using Exceed, using Linux, Python, Jupyter Notebooks. We're looking at having a hackathon. Charlie is actually taking the lead with that, and I'm assisting him with it. Yep, I said it that way, Charlie. That we'll be doing this summer. We'll give you more details on that soon. For the faculty members, you've seen what your students can do. You're proud of them. You're excited. Well, in October, we will be hosting a science. We're still in the planning phases, but we will be hosting a Science Gateways hackathon in combination with the TAC HCI group. So they'll be using TAPIS, which is the TAC Application Programming Interface. You actually saw Maytal here. She works on that as well. And we'll be providing information to the faculty for that. To give you a heads up, for that one, we're going to be looking for 2 faculty members per institution, 2 faculty members per institution, so that you all can team up to actually get work done. And she's the director of the HCI group, right? Or TAPIS.
She's the director of ACI. I'm not sure if Maytal's still on or not, but yeah, she's the director of the ACI group. Advanced Computing Interfaces.
Yes. And TAC is hiring. Just putting that out there. If you're a graduating senior, please take a look at the TAC website and go to the job section. We are hiring. Just putting it out there. Last thing. Last one I have on the list is our big hackathon that we have every year. And that's the one that is connected with supercomputing. So this year, the HPC in the city, Dallas, will be taking place in November. And we have aimed for the weekend prior to SC, which will likely start on November 10th and end on either the 14th or 15th. For more information will be coming with that. That we're doing that in partnership with Exceed, with Sura, with the Inclusion Committee for supercomputing as well. And of course, we're going to try to bring in our normal partners of all the usual suspects. So more to come on that as well. Look out for that one. That one's the big one. Having said that,
can we take our silly photo?
Oh, yes, we will take our silly photo. So I'm gonna let Boyd close out and then we'll take our silly photo.
Okay.
So before he does, I just want to say it's been a pleasure working with each and every last one of you all. There's some of you all that I have met in my past and have come forward. People like Catalina, seeing you here is amazing. I am so glad to have you here. Dr. Humphreys, Dr. Watkins, Linda Ackley. Seeing you all here, it means so very much. Seeing Juliana, Julie's sister, Julie, Jocelyn's, there we go, Juliana. I got it together. Seeing you here for your first hackathon has been amazing. I look forward to seeing you all soon, very soon. So having said that,
can I say something?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but especially the students, but I have actually been taught by most of the people Jamie just named. So my progression with ADMI and then with Cloudy Cluster, SGCI, TAC has started when I was an undergrad. And so that was a long time ago. But they influenced me and they've poured into my life and have given me the opportunity to also pour into you guys's life. I've been be able to be a mentor, and this is my first year being a judge at this event. So I'm just grateful and thankful for that. And I just want to encourage the students that to keep involved with ADMI, with HPC, with the hackathons and all of these events, and take advantage of these opportunities. Without all of the people that have poured into my life, I would not be where I'm at right now. And it does pay off, right? Like you actually putting in effort, making these relationships, and just being consistent is very important. And you know, your network is a key component to your success. So I just want to encourage everybody. It's just amazing just how things have progressed, and reflecting on that.
I like the way that Catalina put it, because it's 100% true. That you all truly have been introduced to the gatekeepers of endless opportunities. And that is 100% correct.
Yes, absolutely.
And the side note is, you're not just a number. We care about you. We'll check on you. Ask Jasmine if we won't track you down.
We will find you. Answer my phone calls.
But having said that, and also Linda Ackley, again, I just want to say thank you. When you have the power of the Lindas behind you, Linda Hayden and Linda Ackley, ain't nothing you can do. I might be able to fly. Y'all don't know.
Hey, Jamie, I thought you were flying. Linda and I definitely thought you were.
Yes.
Right, Linda?
Amen. Amen, Linda.
So, having said that, I just want to say one more time, if you don't know that you're amazing, that you have, and somebody hasn't told you recently, that you have it in you to do what you set your mind to, think back on this. Think back on, you had no idea what the project was about. Think back on, some of y'all have never coded before, which kind of blows my mind. Think back on the fact that you all learned languages, libraries, interconnections, APIs in a couple days. Think about what you could do with more than 96 hours. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Boyd. Boyd, would you close this out?
I sure can, but I don't know how I can follow those acts. Y'all, it's great to be with old friends, great to meet new friends. Keep in touch, and y'all are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to stop the recording. All right, and with that, everybody turn on your cameras. Let's get crazy.
Yeah.
What I want, I need everybody's camera on so we can get a good picture in here. I don't want to see them black screens. I don't want to see the Fs. I don't want to see.
Right.
I want to see you. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're in your car. I don't care if you're in your closet. I want you to turn it on. Let us see it. If your hair is in a bag, I don't care if your
That's
hair
right.
on the
Turn it
table.
on.
Let's see it. Everybody smiling?
Williams?
Y'all know what to do. Y'all know what I'm going to tell you to do. I'm going to tell you to look in your camera. I'm going to tell you to look deeply. I'm going to tell you to think about it's almost time for us to take a nap. I'm so tired.
Yes, Lord.
Tired. I'm so tired, I can't put the R in tired.
Tired.
Look into your cameras, smile. 1, 2, hope you don't sue. All right, one more time. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Let's get it again. Let's make sure everybody's eyes are open. Kyle was smiling so bright that my glasses got a reflection. Let me back up a little bit. Are y'all ready? 1, 2. All right. Thank you so much. Everything you've done. Now go eat, sleep, And we will see
Shout.
y'all.
Enjoy your victories.
Thank you.
Everybody's a winner.
Take it away, Daniel.
Daniel, you could do it. Come on, Daniel.
Daniel.
Daniel, please.
Come
Daniel
on.
said he had a present for all of us.
No,
Uh-oh.
I did not. He is lying.
Daniel, Daniel,
Everyone
hit
have
it,
a
bro.
good night.
Daniel, hit it, bro.
Everyone have a good night.
Daniel, you
Come on,
gotta do
Daniel.
it. Daniel, do it, bro.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Daniel,
Y'all
do it.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, do it.
Harmonica.
Like that.
Those notes sounded in
One
the
note. One note, Daniel. Oh boy.
All right, y'all. Get some rest.
Good night.
Judges, thank you
Good
so
night,
much.
all.
Thank
Good night.
you. Thank you.
Night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Talk to you
Night.
tomorrow, Jamie.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.
Mm.
Bye. Give your sister a hug for me. Fernanda, what did you think? Did you expect that? No, she's gone.
Ananda was impressed. She was terribly impressed with the presentations.
Take care, everyone. It's great to see everybody again.
Bye-bye,
Jamie,
Charlie. Thank you for
thanks.
everything.
So much fun. Thank you so much, Linda.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Hayden,
Yeah, yeah.
can you repost that opportunity and get in Discord?
Oh, yeah, for
Oh,
the.
you want to go to the mini gateways?
Yes.
Chris Buck. Okay. Chris, what's your email? I'll send you some documents. What's your email, Chris?
I'm about to put it in the chat.
Okay, great. And I'll send you an email with the details. You gotta register tonight though, Chris. You're gonna have to register tonight.
So for supercomputing, I'm right down the road now. So
Oh,
you are?
yeah, I'm in College Station.
Oh
I didn't
man.
realize that.
Yeah. So just let me know.
Oh wait, college. What school are you working for?
TAMU. I work, my position's weird. I work as a hybrid for the system and TAMU.
So what you're saying is, if we wanted a local school to be our headquarters, could we bug you a bit? I know you're still getting settled. You might not know people.
Well, the system's weird, but my advisor, which is my boss, is the director and associate director of an institute and a division, which it's a big thing, whatever. Anyways, possibly, if you let me know exactly what we're talking about. And then also, there's also, we got the Texas Cyber Range at TAMU as well.
Oh, you mean the one that we set up for y'all? That one that runs?
No. I think that's San Antonio. I think that's San Antonio. This one, because San Antonio published theirs first, and then it was a big thing. So, anyways, but yeah. So there's some possibilities. Let me know. You have my information, and then I am 3 hours away, so I don't know if home base would probably be the best. But
so I work with the IDRT team up at TAMU anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
so don't. Yeah. Oh, by the way, so to our YouTube streamers, thank you so much for joining us. And if you're looking at this later, thank you for coming. Take care.
But
There we go.
all right,
Okay.
guys. I'm